What is up? What is up? What is up? Redheads, it's your guy J Red. Now, before I begin the show, you know I got to
Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, give up, give up, give up. I know you got doubts, but get to the bag. Just follow the dream and stick with the plan. I know you get worried.
What is up? What is up? Greetings, redheads. Greetings, redheads. Up there we go. It's your guy J Red checking in once again. Greetings. Make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/RedsView. I am your gracious host, J Red, and welcome to Reds View. For right now, I have my Instagram live going on right now. Shout out to Miss Coetta, one of my biggest fans, biggest supporters. I got my Instagram live going. I got my YouTube going, Facebook and Twitter. So all four of the social media giants are going on right now. So thank you for everybody for tuning in. I'm only going to be on Instagram for my Instagram people. I'm only going to be there, have y'all on temporarily because I want y'all asses to come on to the YouTube platform or Facebook, either one. But Instagram live, I'm only doing this momentarily. But shout out to everybody for coming in, man. Again, this is Reds View. I'm your gracious host, J Red. Hopefully everybody had a great Mardi Gras. For those who've been in New Orleans, they celebrate in other places too, but mainly the birthplace of Mardi Gras is Mobile, Alabama. That's where I was this past weekend, and it was litty. It was litty. I wasn't even planning to go, but one of my classmates, her name is Maya Rice. Shout out to Maya. She got me down there for a DJ gig for her coordination. So much love to you, Maya. I had a lot of fun at the Mobile Convention Center. Went down to the Mobile Convention Center. She had her coordination after party. And we had a blast up there, man. I hadn't been to the Mobile Convention Center since I was 18. So it was crazy. I think the last time I went to the Mobile Convention Center was we threw a party. Me and a couple of my high school buddies had threw a party there. But before that, it was actually my prom. So I had a great time, went to a parade. I hadn't been to Mobile Mardi Gras since 2017. So shout out to everybody who has been going to Mardi Gras, you know. I had a lot of fun. Mobile, Alabama is the birthplace of Mardi Gras. Don't get it twisted. You already know what it is. So shout out to New Orleans too, because they go hard with it. And anybody who did celebrate Mardi Gras across the globe had a lot of fun. So hopefully everybody had a good Fat Tuesday, good weekend. But J Red is back. I'm back in full effect. And for those who are watching on YouTube, for one, hit that fire emoji for me, okay? If you are watching on Facebook, make sure that you share it. If you're watching on Twitter, make sure that you retweet this right now. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for me. You can do the dislike too, but I want you to hit that like button for me, all right? Do that for me. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Now, if you watched my Instagram, my post, and if you're watching YouTube and you see the thumbnail, you see a thumbnail of world-renowned actor LaKeith Stanfield. LaKeith Stanfield, ladies and gentlemen. So LaKeith Stanfield has lighted up the news, lighted up social media actually, because if you see that thumbnail, what is he dressed in? LaKeith Stanfield. Shout out to everybody watching right now. But LaKeith Stanfield, I don't know what he's actually posing for. I think it's like a magazine or something like that. I don't know if it's vanity. It's something, right? But I was, let me see, March 1st. So that was what, Monday, I think? Yeah. So I was scrolling down my timeline on Instagram, right? And when I was scrolling down my timeline, no, it wasn't even my timeline. Somebody sent this to me because I don't think I follow him. But I was just chilling. That's what I was doing. And man, as soon as I saw it, like somebody sent me a message and the picture was of LaKeith. The picture was of LaKeith Stanfield. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you what he was wearing. I don't know if anybody has seen it, but check this out. I'm gonna share my screen with you. Go to my Chrome tab. All right. So those who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, not Instagram right now, but Instagram, you can go check this out. Type in LaKeith Stanfield wears laces, laces and heels. So if you're looking at this right now, this is what this man is wearing. Okay. LaKeith Stanfield, you see him with the high heels on and you see him with the laces. You see him with the high heels on and you see him with the laces. LaKeith Stanfield, you're seeing him right here. All right. Now, this is what majority of the show is going to talk about, because my question that I want to talk about is LaKeith Stanfield. He poses in lace stockings and heels. Is this gender fluid or is it buck breaking? Is LaKeith Stanfield posing in lace stockings and high heels? Is this gender fluid or is it buck breaking? Now, people want to know exactly what gender fluid is, all right? Because it's a relatively new term. Buck breaking has been around for centuries, though. But gender fluid is a very relatively new term. But for those watching right now, this is what LaKeith Stanfield is wearing. Hold on, my bad. Right here. All right, you see him with the high heels, and you see him with the lace stockings. Okay, he has his chest out. You know, it looks very, very feminine, very feminine. Okay, now let me go ahead and exit out of that. So, gender fluid. We're gonna look at what gender fluid means. We're going to school today. All right. We're going to school today. We're going to have a discussion. Okay. A real big discussion right now, because I think that it's very important that we talk about this, because it's been an issue, especially with our community. So let's look up what the definition of gender fluid means. All right. So if you're looking at my screen, and again, Instagram, you probably can't. I mean, I know you can't see it, but gender fluid, everybody can Google what it says, but that says denoting or relating to a person who does not identify themselves as having a fixed gender. All right. And it's funny. It says the actor, DJ, and artist identifies as gender fluid. That's funny because I'm an actor, DJ, and an artist. That's funny. But if you look at what the definition of gender fluid means, denoting or relating to a person who does not identify themselves as having a fixed gender. Now, we know it's only two genders, all right? We know that there's only two genders, male and female, and that's like that with humans, and it's like that with plants, it's like that with animals. Male, female, masculine, feminine, that's how we all got here. So common sense, right? That's science. Can't take that away from it. So the reason it came up as far as the gender fluid thing, because I was speaking with someone, and they asked, they were like, do you think it's gender fluid? Because I said that it was buck breaking, but they were like, no, it may be gender fluid. So I'm like, okay, I got to do a show about this to break that down. All right. So gender fluid basically means that you don't identify with a gender. You don't classify yourself as male or female. Actually, you're just a person. We hear that term nowadays. Okay. So the question is LaKeith Stanfield being gender fluid? All right. Because from my understanding, I like LaKeith. I really do. I think LaKeith Stanfield is a great actor. I think that, phenomenal, actually. I think that every movie that I've seen him in thus far has been real good. I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen like the ones, the Harder They Fall. He did that's probably one of his best ones. And then he was on Judas and the Black Messiah. He did good on that. He's been on the show Atlanta. So this is no hate. No hate on LaKeith Stanfield. I think he's a phenomenal actor. However, I don't like the fact that Black men in Hollywood and entertainment have to succumb to these type of situations. So before I go into gender fluid, let's talk about buck breaking. All right. Let me share Let me stop that. I'm gonna share you what buck breaking is. And some of y'all probably already know this, but we're just gonna go over it. So we're coming with facts. This show today is coming with facts. All right. Now, what is buck breaking? Now, I'm not gonna read everything because it has a certain word in it I want to talk about, right? But mainly utilized by slave owners in the Caribbean, and people can see this. Let me go back to it. Mainly utilized by slave owners in the Caribbean, buck breaking was used against male slaves who were seen as defiant. The process involved the slave owner forcing the enslaved man to lower his pants, bend over the tree stump to ensure that buttocks were propped up in the air. All right. What he did to him, because I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but he would sexually abuse the man. I'm going to just use that term for right now. The slave owner would sexually abuse the man in front of people. All right. I'm not going to use the R word, but the R word, we're going to say grape. He would grape the man in front of his family, friends, sexually violate the slave. It would also, so he would be publicly humiliated. This public punishment was instill fear in other slaves, thus prevent any further rebellion. So basically, if you got out of line or they felt that you were too defiant, too strong, too much of a man, too much masculine energy, they would get the male slave in front of everybody and sexually abuse them. They would grape the man in front of everybody. This is documented buck breaking. So the things that I'm talking about today, like we can't say that feminization of the black male isn't real because people like to do it. We can't say that sexual exploitation of the black woman isn't real. The sexual exploitation of black people isn't real. We can't say that because it's documented. This is documented. Buck breaking. So this actually did happen. So for the detractors and people that are going to come on here giving their own, try to make up their own narrative, talking about gender fluid, whatever, I'm just bringing up an example of what actually happened back in the day. So with LaKeith, it's crazy that situations like these happen because from my understanding, LaKeith is a heterosexual man. LaKeith Stanfield is a heterosexual man. I think he even has a wife, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not questioning his sexuality. My question is, why is he wearing feminine clothes? Because I'll go on record, and I'm on record, it's on video, that I've always stated that I don't believe that a male should be wearing feminine clothes. Now, females is pretty much different. Females can wear anything, and it could be gender neutral. It could be neutral. That's called a double standard, and I'm a firm believer in double standards. Do I agree with double standards wholeheartedly? No, but I know that they're here. But I don't agree, and no matter what your sexuality is, your sexual preference, I just don't feel like a man should be wearing feminine clothes. However, if you choose to do that, that's all fine and dandy, whatever, right? Because just because if you're gay, just because just because you're gay doesn't mean that you have to dress like a woman. Now, people may choose that. That's your preference, right? But I don't believe that men should be wearing feminine clothes, no dresses. And I go on record saying that. I criticize Young Thug. I criticize Lil Nas X. You know what I'm saying? But the question is why? Why does LaKeith Stanfield have to do this? Because there's sexual exploitation of the black male and women in Hollywood. We know this. Okay. So did anybody see what do y'all think of it? What did y'all think of this situation before I go into it? Because I know it's going to be some people who disagree with it, thinking that I'm being toxic or whatever. That toxic masculinity shit, that's out the window for this conversation, because like I gave you an example of what buck breaking is. Buck breaking is an actual thing. Okay. So the big question is, why is it that Kid Cudi, why is it that Russell Westbrook, why is it that these black males that are heterosexual, why are they choosing to wear these type of clothes. Now, that you can wear what you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here. I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in or anything like that. But the question is, we don't see our counterparts, our white counterparts, our Hispanic counterparts. We're the only ones that get propped up to do this, and we get celebrated in a way of when we do this as Black men. You get a whole bunch of support, and you know that I'm not bullshitting. You get a bunch of support if you, like, as far as from outside groups. You're going to have a lot of people criticizing you, but it's going to be a handful of people who are going to applaud you and cheer you on and root you on. Why do Black men of that particular position, why do they wear the feminine clothes? Now, I'm telling you, every day that I come out of my house, I go to the gym, I go to the mall, I go around everyday people, okay? I'm not a celebrity yet, you know, but I don't run into men wearing dresses. I don't. But when I turn on the TV or I look on social media, I actually see that. So the question is, why do they have to do that? You're talking about gender fluid, right? But with buck breaking, the modern day buck breaking, and we keeping it real, modern day buck breaking is the powers that be, which you already know is our white counterparts. That's if I'm lying, what Hollywood, we have a Black Hollywood pretty much, you know, as far as you know, Tyler Perry's doing his thing, Master P does his thing, you know, you like Dame Dash, you can have a Black Hollywood, but if we're talking about just the overall, when you think of Hollywood, that is white owned, that's white ran, you know. So why is it that these men who aren't homosexual, they are heterosexual men, why do they feel like they have to wear these dresses and wear these flamboyant clothes? Because the white counterparts don't. Tell me, when's the last time you saw a white athlete wear a dress or wear a skirt? Where do you see where they do it at? On the red carpet. Where do you see white men, Hispanic men, Indian men? Where do you see them put on dresses? On the red carpet. Now it's interesting. S. Crow says that every successful Black man has to do it to get to the next level. I'm mad LeBron dressed up as the progressive lady in his last commercial. That is true. He did. You know, now to play devil's advocate when it comes to that, like Martin putting on the dress for Shanae, or playing in Big Mama's house, or Jamie Foxx playing Wanda. That almost can be looked at as getting just a pass because it's entertainment. It's entertainment. Shout out to Sand. So this Sand, okay. Yeah, I saw you, bro, but I got this, you know, I'm live right now. I wanted you to join in, but I've been rushing and stuff all day. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Sand. You see men do this, but with Shanae, and you see Wanda and stuff like that. And I've seen, you know, who's it? Robin Williams, wasn't that his name? He dressed up like Mrs. Doubtfire, right? So I've seen white men put on dresses when it comes to, like, you know, like even in the new Tyler Perry thing, what was the new Tyler Perry Madeir's thing? Don't you know, if anybody who's seen the new Tyler Perry movie, who's seen it? If you have seen it, you know that it's the grandma. She's like from Europe or something like that. That's actually a white man that plays that. That's actually a white man. I didn't know that until somebody put that on Facebook, but yeah, that's actually a white man. So I'm saying that you see people do that, you know what I'm saying, as far as comedians go. However, Russell Westbrook, who else? And like just like Kid Cudi, when you see just these regular men just put on, you know, feminine clothes, you're just like, okay, what's the reason for that? But yeah, if you want to put it out, there are 100% theories out there that are saying that, hey, you have to do this to get to the next level. Because you notice after they do this, when they put on a dress, you know, and they put on feminine clothes, somehow their career just goes up sky high after this. And my thing is this: LaKeith didn't come out wearing a dress, like as far as like introduced into Hollywood wearing a dress. He didn't come out wearing feminine clothes. It's always they come out and they, just look like regular black men. Then boom, out of nowhere, they're just taking pictures in dresses, and you just like, whoa, where did that come from? Where the hell did that come from? Out of nowhere. So, what's the reasoning for that? Let me see. So LaKeith didn't even have to do this. His career was already on the up and up. Now, this is the thing, Torian, I hope I'm saying that right. I think it's Torian Rain Reloaded. This is the thing. How do we know that? How do we know this wasn't a part of the package? Okay, yeah, you do this role, then you're gonna you're gonna get to the point where you got to put on this dress, so you got to pose in feminine clothes or put on some lipstick. That could be a part of the plan. You see what I'm saying? Because if you notice this, Anthony Mackie, what was that show he was on Netflix? And he had he played a gay character somewhat. Him and the guy, I forgot his name, but they were on that show. I think it's Black Mirror, and they were playing in the video game, and then the video game was real. One of them was a female, the other was a male, and they were having sex with each other as male and female in the video game, and they had to figure out in the reality world, okay, am I gay? Am I straight? I only want to play this with him, but it's like they even kissed each other on screen just to check, and after, and he's a superstar now. So you really gotta look at that type of stuff. You gotta watch it. But yeah, that's something to look at. For real. But yeah, so why don't you see white people doing that? That's my question. Why don't you see any of that? He had to get on the casting couch. saying crazy. But nah, that's real though. That's real. Real talk. But I'm going to say this for those, all those non-believers and stuff like that, right? Buck breaking is a thing. Black women getting sexualized is a thing. How many people know who Sarah Bartman was? We're going to school today. Tonight. We're going. How many who know who Sarah Bartman? Okay. Let me show you who Sarah Bartman was. Just so you know I'm not bullshitting. Let me share my screen. This is Sarah Bartman. Now, Sarah Bartman was a woman that was super voluptuous at the time. Now, these days, you might see a woman or two that got, ass like this. Like you could see her body was very voluptuous. It was so big, in fact, that white men took her around. They took her around and literally had her in the circus. They paraded her around, had her in a box, like how they do little monkeys and shit and animals and stuff at, circuses and shit. They would have her there at the county fairs and stuff, displaying her body, sexualizing her body. So when you think of the Megan Thee Stallions and you think of the City Girls or women these days that are, the Lil Kims and stuff like that, the powers that be could push them and are pushing them to be sexually explicit. Lizzo. Now, Lizzo is another case because, she's big, overweight. She don't have any shape like this. But this is the thing. And for folks who are watching on Instagram, type in Sarah Bartman. Bartman has 2 A's, Baartman. Prime example right here. So I'm pulling this out because this is facts. Sexualization of Black people has been here for centuries. This is not brand new. So when you're looking at the LaKeith Stanfield, you fast forward and you see LaKeith Stanfield and Russell Westbrook, who claim to be, just straight Black men, heterosexual Black men. Why do they have to succumb to this? And I do agree with what everybody's pretty much is saying, that to get to that level, it seems like you got to put on a dress or appear feminine. Lil Nas X, when he came out, as far as the music, when he came out and dropped Old Town Road, you didn't hear nothing about his sexual preference, his sexuality at all. Old Town Road became the biggest single of all time, then boom, hey, I'm gay. And then he's showing up on red carpets and twerking on Satan in dresses and all this other stuff. So that's sexualizing them. But where is the white Lil Nas X? Elton John is openly homosexual. I've never seen Elton John in no dress. Never seen Elton John in a dress. And I'm just keeping it real. Let's talk about it. You know, our counterparts don't do that. Tom Brady ain't finna do what Russell Westbrook did. Tom Brady wouldn't even do what LeBron did. When do you see white NFL players or white hockey players, Hispanic hockey players, Hispanic basketball players? When did you see them dress up in, you know, be in dresses and wear feminine clothes? When did you see that? You don't. You said Elton John be wearing panties. Elton John ain't never showed up on a red carpet with a dress, though. And you could go back to, I think somebody brought up Dennis Rodman and Prince. Yeah, Prince wore all that stuff. It's like, but you've never seen anybody else really do that. I think Boy George may be the closest thing I can think of it, but typically you don't see that. But we get paraded around when we do that. We get paraded around. Yeah, you're right. The only one who didn't do it is, you know, in our community, Chappelle. And also, let me see if I can find this. Because, oh yeah, let me see if I can find this. Yeah, Keisha, I am on YouTube right now. I am on YouTube. So I want people who are watching on Instagram to actually come to YouTube as well. But let me go here because I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Let me see if I can find it first because Jaleel White actually turned it down too. Let me see if it has the clip. Well, no, he didn't turn it down, but he talked about it. Let me. Well, I don't want to play that because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Let me not do that because they'll take it down. But anyway, go to YouTube and type in Jaleel White wearing a dress. He said that he cried because he didn't want to do it when he was playing Myrtle Urkel because he was playing Steve Urkel, but he went to his parents and everything was talking about it. So this happens. Dave Chappelle ran away. People thought he was crazy for going to Africa and shit that he did. He turned down, what was it, $30 million because they were trying to feminize him. You said Harry Styles wore a dress on the cover of Vogue. Who is Harry Styles? Who is that? That's a white dude? Who is Harry Styles? Let me know who that is. But yeah, like this is a thing. And for people who are distracting you talking about it's not, they're meant to do that. They're meant to distract us. Everybody watching right now, hit that fire emoji. Hit that fire emoji right now if you're watching. Make sure that you share it everywhere. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, and all that other stuff. Yeah. You said he's from that group, One Direction. I don't know who that is. So yeah, that's one example. I can name you like on both hands how many examples I've seen black men in Hollywood wear dresses. But you don't see that usually, you know, with the white men and other ones, you know, unless they're playing a comedic role, you'll see that. But this has been detrimental to the black community because there is a feminization of black men going on. You can't run away from that. LaKeith had no reason. What was his reasoning for doing that? Now, of course, like I said, you can wear what you want to wear and say that LaKeith came out, just introduced to Hollywood and he always wore, you know, if he always wore dresses and stuff like that and like, hey, y'all, this is who I am. This is who I am. That would be different. That would be different, but he didn't. It's like they come in, get these roles, right? And they seem like they just, you know, just being regular selves. Then boom, it's a dress. Yeah, I did see Jim Jones. I don't know if he wore a blouse, but Jim Jones had some lavender stuff on. I saw that. Sam said, in order for black folks to be successful, they have to do it, especially entertainment. White people don't have to because they control the industry. That's right. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly right. Linda Vilo says black women are masculine, though. Well, yeah. So with that, they do try to portray black women as being, you know, strong, independent, masculine, and all that other stuff, but they sexually exploit black women just like they've been sexually exploiting black men forever. They sexually exploit our children. They do. I'm not going to talk about this show that's out right now. Sand knows what I'm talking about, but there's a show right now that's kind of doing that. I'm gonna keep it on the hush right now, but y'all should know it's a popular show that's out that's slick doing that. That's slick doing that. You should know what I'm talking about. It comes on Peacock. That's what I'm gonna say for right now. But yeah, man. So yeah, like we can't run away from that. That is an agenda going on. And my thing is this also with this LaKeith Stanfield thing, man. Y'all remember he got into it with Charlemagne. I don't know if it was, I think it was like the year before last, right? And he got mad because I think Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club had talked to, he said that the Breakfast Club will talk shit about black people. And I'm paraphrasing because it's been a while, but he was getting into it and saying that the Breakfast Club helps push the white infrastructure and, you know, what are controlled by the white media and all this other stuff. And they talk shit about black people and other media outlets don't do it or something like that. But he was basically saying that they're battery packed by white people. So my question is, are you being battery packed by white people in this situation? Come on now. Come on now. Are you doing the same thing? Because it looks like they got a battery packing you as well at the same time. So it's like, you know, it's ridiculous, man. And I know it's going to be people who are going to take what I'm saying out of context. I already know that. I already know they're going to take what I'm saying out of context and be like, okay, the toxic masculinity, whatever. There's going to be structure. There's structures in other societies and other race groups besides the black community. Everything is subjective. Anybody can wear anything. You can do whatever. We do that in our community. But when somebody calls it out, my thing is, if LaKeith, if this is truly who he is, all good. But really, because we see it happen time and time again, that these dudes who are actors, and to get to that next level, now everybody hadn't did it, right? Denzel, I don't think he's ever done that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tay Xavier. He said battery packing you as well. Yeah, dead serious though, man. But my thing is, for those who act like an agenda isn't out there, you gotta be bullshitting. Come on now. Come on. And I will go on record. I don't think that men should be wearing dresses or feminine clothes. Always have said that. Whether you're gay, straight, it don't matter. I don't do that. Now, women, they do it, but typically, you know what I'm saying, women, it's a double standard. It could be neutral. It definitely can. But yeah, man, that shit really did blow me. And I don't think that we should do. That's why we need to be controlling our own narrative, controlling our own black Hollywood, our own Hollywood, right? And I'm not saying that white people can't be a part of that, other race groups can't be a part of that. But if we own our own, we wouldn't have to succumb to shit like this, because it's something's in me telling me that he didn't want to do this. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, right? But so Linda said he looked very comfortable with them crossed legs. He did. Now let's talk about the funny part, man. Let me pull that picture up again, because that shit was funny. It was funny the way he was looking. I'm like, okay, girl, okay, you doing your thing, right? Look at him. Them legs are crossed. Man, look at them stockings are up there, man. Hairy ass chest, that taco meat, and he got on these heels. You see that? Look at LaKeith, man. But LaKeith, bro, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. Like the you know, them feminizing black men is a thing. And there ain't no way, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is what it is. Buck breaking. I went over what buck breaking is, and this is the modern day buck breaking, because buck breaking means that you go and embarrass the man, you take away his manhood. That's what they pretty much try to do. Now, I'm not saying they're sexually doing that, but if they got the money to do that, and for one, if you do it for the money, that's trash, right? But for two, if they're saying that I'll end your career if you don't do this. That definitely is bug breaking. So yeah, I had to talk about that. LaKeith, you ain't got to do that, bro. But let me know, everybody who's watching right now, is it gender fluid or is it bug breaking? Let me know in the comment section what you think. I think that it's bug breaking. Very much so. Oh, I know that the folks finna be mad at me with this, boy. I already know. I already know. But anyway, man, let's go on to something else. That was a good 30 minutes that we talked about that. Now, I want to talk about something else that's been hot in the news. Joe Budden talked about Megan Thee Stallion. Hold on, before we do that, let me get this comment out. You said, remember when Kid Cudi wore a wedding dress to some fashion event last year? He walked hand with a designer who was a white man. Yeah, exactly. CeeLo Green did it too. Shout out to Goody Mob, but CeeLo Green did it too. I talked about that. These black men will be wearing dresses and they're standing next to a white man in his masculinity in a suit. It happened in the Lil Nas X video, the one with Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow is straight man, heterosexual man, but you got Lil Nas X popping naked with a bunch of gay dudes in prison. So yeah. But no, that's true. But let me go on to talk about this, man. Shout out to everybody in the room. So is Megan Thee Stallion a superstar? Is she a superstar? The reason I asked this is because Joe Budden was on his podcast, and I don't know exactly what they were debating about. And I don't think he directly called was trying to talk about Megan. I think he just brought her up because of album sales. So the question is, do album sales have to do with you being a superstar in 2022? Is Megan Thee Stallion a superstar? Now, when we think of a superstar, you think of somebody that's known around the world, somebody that, of course, sells a lot of records, somebody that's critically acclaimed in movies and, in this day and age has millions of followers and all that other stuff, right? So Joe Budden said that, I forgot, like I said, what they were like debating about, but he did bring up Megan Thee Stallion. He was just like, okay, they were talking about album sales. And he was like, well, Megan hadn't sold shit either, so she can't be a superstar. Now, the first thing people are going to say, how can Joe Budden talk about her? He didn't sell records. He's a one-hit wonder, blah, 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 blah. Y'all shut up with that, man. At the end of the day, he's a retired rapper. You could look at his career as a fail or whatever, but guess what? I don't have a hit record. J Red would love to have a hit record, and I got one on the way, but I would love to be in Joe Budden's position. You know what I'm saying? If you call me one-hit wonder, okay, that one hit I can tour the rest of my life. I bet you that. So I'm saying we can separate everybody knows that you can say he's a failed artist or whatever, one-hit wonder. He's at this point speaking about facts that he feels, or topics. I ain't gonna say facts, but Megan Thee Stallion, right? So he said that she didn't sell a lot of records, which she really doesn't. However, she did go platinum, right? With her most recent album, I think, because of the album streams and stuff like that. But it was interesting because he talked about just the album sales. Now, is Megan a superstar? Linda Velo said Beyonce is the last superstar. But so I named what a superstar was. You got to count album sales, popularity, business ventures. You could talk money as well. Money. All of that goes hand in hand. But Megan really didn't have, I think where Joe Budden was coming from was that typically Megan's album sales are relatively low. I think when her actual album came out, she did like just at 100,000. But for all the publicity that she was getting, it felt like she should have did more. But other than that, like her Sugar Project and, I think she just put out something for the hotties, and all of them just come out and they do like 30,000, no more than 20, 30,000 the first week, which is low. You know what I'm saying? Especially now that you got a bunch of streaming out here. But what is a superstar in 2022? Because a lot of people aren't selling records, right? I'm playing devil's advocate on this one. Megan Thee Stallion, I don't know by definition if you would call her a superstar. She's definitely a star. But if somebody says that she is a superstar, I'm not going to argue with that. because look at her following. Megan has a lot of influence on the game. And I mean, she is a hit maker. When you look at WAP was #1 in the country. Now, I do feel like because more so Cardi, but Megan was a part of that. Top artists like Cardi B, who is a superstar, collaborated with Megan. So if she's collaborating with her, and Megan, and as fun, as crazy as this is gonna sound, I don't even think it's crazy, but with Megan Thee Stallion, her career really jumped off after the Tory Lanez thing. It really went up after he allegedly shot her, and they're on trial right now. That's why I ain't saying too much. But that propelled her career, right? So is she considered a superstar? What do y'all think? People in the comment section, let me know what you think. Like, do you think Megan Thee Stallion is a star or not? Because, I mean, superstar. Because, I mean, she's very, very well much known. And I don't know if you can just purely these days go based off of album sales. Well, he don't sell shit, so he ain't a superstar. You still can be a superstar, I think, if you don't sell as many records. However, I'm not disagreeing with Joe Budden 100%. I'm kind of here and there with him like that. But yeah, do album sales actually define what a superstar is these days? Because everybody really ain't selling records, but then you could say the superstars are, because Drake sells records, Kanye sells records, Cardi B sells records, J. Cole sells records, Eminem still sells records. But what do y'all think? Let me know. Next topic I want to talk about is T.I. T.I. has been in the news because I think he's been receiving some hate from the comedy world. Now, for those who don't know, T.I. has actually started doing his own stand-up comedy. And I've seen T.I., I think, one time at no, not stand-up, but I think I saw him here in Atlanta. He always goes to Uptown Comedy Court, and he supports those stand-up comedy shows and different things like that. But him and Godfrey recently got into it. Because I think Godfrey had a show here in Atlanta, and he was the headliner. T.I. came on after him, and it's a rule in comedy to where you're not supposed to go after the headliner. And T.I. actually did go after him when Godfrey thought it was over. Godfrey talked about it on his podcast, and pretty much was like that wasn't right and didn't like it, right? And then you got some people, and they got into it, they talked about it, because T.I. went on Godfrey's podcast, and they, he kind of checked him on it. Godfrey was kind of going back on his words a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it was an interesting convo, because Tip's thing is what I got going on as far as the comedy world. If you feel intimidated by that or whatever, you shouldn't feel that way at all, because I can't stop your bag. And if you feel like I can, that says a lot about your character, says a lot about you, right? But yeah, so T.I. just started doing it, and some people, have been talking shit about him, saying, hey, he ain't funny, or he needs to stay. They hate when people try to do other things, but it's like nobody says anything when, comedians like Lil Duval goes into the rap world. Comedians like Eddie Murphy went into the R&B world. Comedians do, become actors. Now, Samuel Jackson had something to say about that a few years ago, but yeah, but I think that, it's cool. I think you can multitask. I am a DJ, I'm an actor, rapper, and content creator. That's 4 things right there. So if somebody was to tell me, yeah, you rap, but I don't know, you don't need a DJ, or you just a DJ, you don't need to be an actor and all this other stuff. You can't limit anybody to just one thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think T.I. should be able to do what he wants to do. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is The Game. The Game says that Kanye, now this is a clip from Drink Champs. I can't wait to see the Drink Champs episode, by the way. The Game says that Kanye, in the clip, he says Kanye did more for him in his career in 2 weeks, more than Dr. Dre has ever. Now, as absurd as that sounds, right? I mean, I want to hear I want to see the full episode to see in context what he's talking about. Because I wasn't one of those people that jumped on the bandwagon and was like, what the hell is he talking about? Because maybe he's talking about something lucrative that Kanye just did that made him a lot more money. Maybe he's talking about that. I don't know. But if he is talking about Kanye has did more for him in his music career than Dr. Dre did his whole career, in 2 weeks, I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Now, I was talking about this on Instagram, and I'm just like, we got to see the full episode of Drink Champs to see in context what is the game talking about. Because you don't know. He could be talking about, Kanye's a billionaire. Maybe he put him on to something with the STEM player. You know what I'm saying? He could have helped craft something for the game. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But for him to say that, it must be something. All right. Now, this is the last thing I do want to talk about. Twista actually appeared on Drink Champs, and he called himself the Michael Jordan of fast rap. Do we have any Twista fans in the building? Do we have any Twista fans? I'm going to go off of Instagram Live. Shout out to Instagram Live. Yeah, we had quite a few people up in Instagram Live. But let me discard that. For those who've seen it, they just seen it. Right? But yeah, Twista said that he was the Michael Jordan of fast rap. And I was excited to see this because I'm a fan of a lot of fast rap. But is Twista the Michael Jordan? Because what Twista was saying was that, you got Bone Thugs, you got Mystical, you got Busta Rhymes, Eminem, Tech Nine, a lot of different fast rappers. But Twista, for the most part, you can understand what he's saying verbatim, even though he's spitting it at lightning speed. Calling him the Michael Jordan of fast rap, I mean, I would if you're talking about hearing everything that he's saying. My personal favorite, and who I think is the greatest fast spitter of all time, is Crazy Bone. That's my favorite artist. And I think he does it like no other. But Twista, you talking about fast rap, maybe so. But, y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Oh, shit. Oh, we had some people. Yeah, shout out to Facebook, man. I ain't see a lot of y'all comments. Wesley Snipes. Hold on. Yeah. So Roland, and I want to go back to let's go back to LaKeith Stanfield real quick. Roland said Wesley Snipes did drags in the movie. Yep. They said Samuel Jackson did some gay stuff in Star Wars. Dave Chappelle turned down. Yep, he did, Roland. Yep. Lucretia said, why do Lizzo like that? No, I'm dead serious, though. She don't, Lucretia. And I don't know if you still watch it, but I'm just going back. They make white people act black like Rit Raff, Catch Me Outside Girl, and even old girl who sung on Jay's On My Feet. And they said she hated that phase of her life. Yeah, I wish I could have seen all that shit, Roland. Roland, are you still watching? Because I didn't see all the Facebook comments. I was on Instagram Live, so I didn't see all the Facebook comments. But yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Let me know if you still watching, Roland. But if not, it's all good. We had a real good discussion tonight. But yeah, man. The thing is, if you got anything out of tonight, you should know that yeah, bug breaking is real. Back to the Twista thing. I just got a message. Let me see. Norris, I know you watching, man. You said, nah, bro, Twista #1, and I love Crazy Bone. Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong, bro. Twista, if you talking about just fast spitting, nobody does it like Twista. Nobody does it like Twista, man. But it's hard for me to say the Michael Jordan because I'm trying to see if he's the best at it. I personally like Crazy the most, because just the way that he does it. But I'm not disagreeing if anybody thinks that Twista is the MJ of fast rap. Because Twista spit, he killed that Eminem put out the Godzilla. I don't know, it resurfaced, but put out that Godzilla verse when he's rapping in a bunch of words of milliseconds and stuff. And Twista did it and killed it. So as far as the going fast, nobody's fucking with Twista. But as far as style, I would have to go with Crazy Bone. So Crazy Bone is my GOAT of the fast rap, my personal one. You still watching, bro? So Crazy Bone is my GOAT. Look at me. I'm let me get off Facebook. But yeah, man. So we almost at the hour mark. We had a good discussion today. On Facebook, obviously, then on YouTube and Instagram as well. So people who are watching on Instagram, I don't know if I ain't gonna do that each time, but I hope y'all had fun, man. Subscribe to youtube.com/ResView. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram at JAYR3D. Follow me on Twitter. Well, you can follow me on Twitter, TikTok as well, JAYR3D. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok are all the same thing at JAYR3D. If you need a DJ for my people in Atlanta or anywhere, if you need a DJ, hit me up, man. I'm out here. I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? But I think we had a real good discussion tonight. Anybody, if you got any topics that you want me to cover or talk about, feel free to send me a DM. I'm quite sure that we're going to have some might be some hateful comments up in this thing, but I think we had a good discussion tonight, man. I had fun with y'all. For those of you who are watching now, y'all good? Are y'all good? Support the show as well, man. You can shoot anything, $1 or $2 at the Cash App. $1 or $2 at the Cash App. But yeah, man, I had fun. Can't be on here all night. I try to make it no more than an hour. But thank you for joining me on this week's episode of ResView. My name is J Red. Follow me at JAYR3D. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/ResView. Signing out.